Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with Sean Kelly. Just want to say hello to my brother there, Patrick Kelly. Good to see you that you came on. It's about time you do something right. But listen, I am on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3, New Orleans 107.7, Mississippi. And I have a hell of a show for you guys tonight. I mean, I've heard so much goodness about this. My guest tonight, Kerrilynn. Um, I got to read her bio. I got to get it on my phone. You guys know I'm not prepared, so I got to get it on my phone here. Kerrilynn Shellhorn is a generational psychic medium who had her first experience with the paranormal at the tender age of 5. As a mom of 4 sensitive kiddos, she saw the need to support families and children with intuitive gifts. She transitioned from a career as a hairstylist to her career as an evidential medium with an online radio show. Her show focused on supporting families who had children with intuitive gifts. Kerrilynn's approach is all about keeping things real while utilizing her strong sense of humor. Kerrilynn has a deep passion for helping people understand and develop their intuitive abilities. She teaches, mentors, and inspires others through her sought after classes, workshops, personal sessions, and popular public events. As the host of the Spirit Switchboard on United Public Radio and UFO Paranormal Network, she engages in conversations with guests about all things paranormal and high strangeness. That's interesting, high strangeness. So I'd like to talk to her about it. When she is not investigating paranormal phenomena, you will find her hanging out at home with her dogs, Bruce and Nora, and her granddaughter, who affectionately calls her Queenie. Queenie Kerrilynn is based out of, I'm going to screw this name up, but maybe when she comes on, she can tell me where she's from. Duluth, Ontario. And without further ado, everybody. Oh, hi, Cindy. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. Jen Blue, hello. Cheryl Robinson, hello. Without further ado, I want to introduce my guest, Kerrilynn Shellhorn. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, did I do okay with that?
Guelph.
Rough. Thank
Guelph,
you.
Ontario. Everything else is brilliant.
Guelph. Okay.
You got it.
Look, I will have to, kind of Google that city and just see what it's all about. Well, you got a lot of people here tonight, Kerrilynn. Hey, Mark Goodwin, good to see you, buddy. Welcome. That's my friend Mark. So how are you doing? What's going on?
Kind of a little of everything. I think everybody's in that, we're tired of winter and a little bit of a funk, need things to switch up. So I took some time and moved my office around and then realized how much stuff. So I've been doing some purging, sessions, events. I do these events called Dining with the Dead at different restaurants, and spirits and sweets at like coffee shops and stuff like that. But I'm at a stage and age where I don't want to drive in the winter anymore. So I just, do some online, do sessions and stuff through the winter months. So this month coming up in March, I'm starting to get back on the road again for events, and I have some theater events coming up, and
awesome. That's great.
That's a fun thing starting.
You were talking about Dinner with a Ghost, right?
Yeah, Dining with the Dead. I've been doing that for 13 years now.
13. There is okay. Hi, Michelle Plummer. Good to see you. Kaysen, good to see you. It's my buddy.
Hi, everybody.
He's from Sri Lanka. But there was a place down in Virginia, in Whiteville, Virginia. It's called the Octagon House, which is a haunted place.
I think I've heard about it.
Yes, and the people who own that, they have dinner with a ghost.
Oh, fun. I'd love it.
Other fun. Oh my God, all the electronics they got set up on the tables and stuff like that.
Oh, fun. So I've not done that, but I think that, maybe this year I can switch it up and bring some paranormal equipment. I mean, when I first started, I focused on wanting to do the events at places that had a history of paranormal activity.
Hmm.
And then it just kind of evolved. Like there was just so many people asking to do the event. And so the theater events that I do, the Love Life Afterlife, this year I'm going back to a place in it's St. Thomas, Ontario. It's called the Princess Playhouse Theater. It's an old church,
Ooh.
and it's definitely has some in-house spirits, and they allow me to do my talk and give messages, and then do an investigation of the theater after.
Hmm.
So we'll be doing that again this year. But
I
the
see
dining
this.
with the deads, the dinner with ghosts, is just a lot of fun.
Oh
Like
my
I
God, it
I
is.
want them
It
to
is.
move a glass across the table or make the house light shut off. I just, you know, I would love for that to happen.
Well, you know what? I am friends with the people who own that Octagon House that do that dinner with a ghost, and I'm gonna have to hook you up with him because it's pretty interesting. They have one hell of a setup. Kason, you're welcome.
Doesn't
Hey,
like the octagon shape have something?
no, okay, now there's an octagon shaped house down there, okay, but the place I'm talking about is like a regular house, okay,
Yeah. But
and
is it shaped like an octagon? It's not, that
no,
house isn't
no,
shaped like an octagon?
no,
Mm,
not that one. No. Hey,
okay.
Tara, good to see you. But I we didn't like 2 nights. Whenever my group would go away overnight or over, to another state, we usually did 2 night investigations. You just
Oh,
can't
that's
go
fun.
into a place. You know what I mean? You just can't go into a place and investigate and then go home the next day. You need actual 2 nights, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to hook you up with this guy. So I am interested
I'm gonna
in.
have to get my passport renewed.
Please do. God, we have a lot of stuff down here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, the haunted farm
Oh yeah, I'm waiting. Oh yeah, thank
that
you
you
for
had on
remembering.
last week. Yeah.
Yes. Everybody out there, whoever is with a paranormal group, or if anybody wants to join a public investigation, paranormal investigation, April 6th is the day.
Oh.
And it is going to be held in Brownsville, PA. It's called Duda's Farm, a haunted farm. And if you want more information, please just send me a message on my Pittsburgh Paranormal. Uh, Jen Blue says, "Take me with you."
Yeah, Jen would love it, and Jen's pretty intuitive as well too, so she'd be a great addition.
Oh
And
my
you
God.
guys, I know Sean's may not mention that at the moment, but I will. You guys can check out the archive of the show last week when he had the fellow on from the Duda's Haunted Farm, and watch the episode and get all the inside details about it.
Hell yes. Thank you for sharing that. I kind of like crossed my brain. Michael Anthony, good to see you. Michael's a good dude. He'll be with my guest on this Tuesday.
Oh,
And
fun.
he seriously drop on by. Michael's a real good friend of mine. And but so you gonna come down?
Well, I'm going to have to work on getting my passport renewed because
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's
Well,
not
we want to get you
currently
here in the
valid. But
States.
yeah, coming down, I would love to. Actually, the first time that I ever left Canada and went down into the States, it was for paranormal stuff. So
Uh-huh.
I would love to do that again. And you know what was top on my list was I went to Santa Cruz, the Bigfoot Museum, and then went into the redwoods. I want to have a Bigfoot experience.
Right. That's so do I. So do I.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
gonna have to make it happen somehow.
oh yeah, we're just gonna have to throw out our energies to tell a Bigfoot to come in. I had a dream on that one. No lie. Oh, it was really weird. It happened a couple nights ago. But
You
we're
telepathically connected one during a dream?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. People might not believe me, but
Oh no, I believe you. I just want to know how we can make that happen in real time, not dream time now.
I don't know. Maybe we can figure it out someday down the road. But
I'm in.
with your bio, okay.
Yep.
All right, I have it down here. Something about you're a psychic and with switchboard, psychic spirit switchboard on
Spirit
UPRN.
switchboard. Yep.
How'd you come up with that name?
Spirit switchboard. Um, it takes a long time to come up with a name for a show because then you're having to cross reference and make sure it's not somebody else's already. And I just wanted to come up with a name that reflected connecting with the other side at the same time. And I wanted to feel like those hot chicks from John Wick who have like that are all tattooed and hooking up the switchboards. That was the whole idea in my head.
Really?
Yep, if we're gonna be honest.
There you go.
I even found, I think there's some pictures. Oh wait, I think it's in my mug. Which side? Yeah. I found this vintage like the little things that the operators
Yeah.
would wear to connect you to the like, so that's kind of me, right? Connecting with the other side. But I
Hmm.
found those vintage.
Oh wow, that is cool. So I
Super
like that.
fun, eh?
Yeah. So
Because you
can
got to
you?
have fun with your job. You got to have fun when you're doing this stuff, right?
Oh, you have to. You can't be serious all the time. But
Mm-mm.
what? How did you find out coming on UPRN Talk Radio with your show? And what kind of people do you have as guests?
Oh, well, I mean, how did I get on UPRN?
Well, we know how you probably got on, but what gave you the idea, or how did you find out about going on UPRN? Because there's a lot of people out there right now that would like to do something like this, and maybe there's some
Mm.
listening tonight that maybe if you can share your experience with that, then maybe.
Well, you want me to be really transparent? I'm going to be transparent. Social media is really hard. Social media is really hard. And there are imposter people that make it even more challenging. And I was talking to Michelle. So, Michelle DeRocha, who's host of Outer Realm with UPRN, and she's our network manager. She takes very good care of us here. She's like, Kerrilynn, what do you need? And I'm like, I don't know. Because I wasn't getting that little blue check mark to say that I was verified. And I need people to know more about me. I need my name out there a little bit more than what it is. Cause my kids call me local famous and I fly under the radar and I'm quite comfortable with that. I don't need the accolade that comes with being super famous. I just needed the little blue check mark so I didn't have to get stressed out where I was making myself sick thinking about the imposters using my name and image and scamming people because it was
Right.
stressing me out so much. And she's like, come on, why don't you just have a show? And I'm like, okay. So we started the show in April and I came on and I am so thankful. I am loving having the show with UPRN and UFO Paranormal Radio. I'm getting to meet so many great people and that's been the best part, like just the community that's been building since I started in April, the people that I've met and how it's rippled out from there. And yeah, I mean, my focus originally, and I guess I've stayed to my focus and what I wanted and connecting with other people who can connect with the other side, paranormal investigators, people who look at high strangeness as well too. And, just build that community up.
That's Kaysen has a question for you. I don't know if this question is one of your specialties. I have hard time
Oh.
understanding karma. The Buddhist texts are confusing about it. Any thoughts on what karma really is?
So every thought, word, deed, and action has a consequence, and it ripples out. And everything's going to come back around. So it's not all negative karma. It's not all negative. It's positive as well too. But if you think of it that way, that every thought, word, deed, or action matters, what you're putting out and what you're going to get in return, both positive and negative. And if we don't figure it all out this time, it's going to come back around in the next lifetime. I don't know if that is too
I hope
simple
that
of an
helps you
answer.
out there, Casey. Um, Karma, I believe highly in karma. And, there's a lot of times that she roared her ugly head at me. Michael Anthony
We
said,
are all
"Oh,
affected.
yeah, oh, that's right. You can see. Good." Um, but to me, karma is real. I believe karma is,
Mhm.
you know, and she don't play. And now it's not like I'm waiting for it to happen right away. Eventually, it will
Mm-mm.
happen. Maybe I'll see it. Maybe I won't. But you know what? That's okay.
But it's rewards too, not just. Um, I mean, you're rewarded with karma as well too. It's not just about knocking you on your butt.
A lot of people are probably thinking and wondering, when is he going to start getting to the psychic questions to you? Okay.
Oh,
I mean, you said you started at 5 years old. Can you,
hmm,
extend a little bit on where and how you were
sure.
comfortable with your gifts?
So I was very fortunate. I got to grow up beside my grandparents. So they had, this little farmhouse. It was like, I think 20 acres, and they gave my parents property and they built the house beside them. So I got to grow up there. And then my other grandparents had like 130 acres. Like we just had all this land. It was super amazing way to grow up. And at my grandparents' house, I would see a gentleman that was in spirit at the top of the steps all the time. And it turns out it was my great grandfather. And that's where he had to walk by him to get to the bathroom. And it used to scare me. So I just would go back through the field to our house to use the bathroom and then go back to my grandparents' house all the time. But when I got older, and I had children young, like I was 21 when I had my first son. My kids were also having experiences when they were small. A little bit further on down the road, I was gifted an opportunity to have a TV show with a local cable network here, and they wanted to do that first episode about me and you know a little bit more about me, like a get to know you, that first premiere episode. And I had did a bit of research, and then I actually found newspaper articles about that man that I was seeing, and my family never really talked about it. Like we didn't talk about any experiences I had. Yeah, it wasn't talked about. But I found newspaper articles about him, and he used to read tea leaves, and he would use dowsing rods and witch wells for other farmers. He was doing psychic readings for people, and um, so yeah, it was in the family. And then when I ended up having the show and was I call it coming out of the witchy boo closet. Like then I was really not doing hair anymore and doing this full time. Understanding that other people in the family also were intuitive and had the same abilities. It was just not talked about. I'm the one that made everybody go, "Hey, let's talk about this out loud." I mean, normalize it, right? Normalize it. And I wanted it to feel normal for my children because they were having experiences as well too, that
Right.
it didn't have to be weird.
My son, when he was small, he was very intuitive. Joanne McTaggart says it's so great you get to tell your story, Kerrilynn.
Thanks, Joanna.
But my son was very intuitive. He's an old soul, and then he became at the age of 10, he just totally lost it all. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think that
Why? I mean, you work with children. Why would a young kid be so in tuned and really loving doing what he's doing, and all of a sudden, at a drop of a dime, he just quit?
mm, well, there's lots of different reasons, and 10 is actually late to stop. I mean, I see more frequently children dumbing down and or shutting off those gifts like at age 6 and 7 when they're really in school more full time because they want to fit in. And then as we get older, we have different experiences and traumas and it shuts down. And I find, especially with women, it tends to click back on in that mid 30 to 40 age. Something clicks. And whether it's, I don't want to, it just sounds kind of sexist, but I mean, hormones change as well too, and that plays a factor, and experiences play a factor. But when children are small, they remember, their spirit remembers being on the other side, and it's so easy for them to tap into that. And their belief,
Mm-hmm.
it's like Christmas every day. I wonder what's going to happen today. And
Right.
so they're open to those outside of the box experiences.
My I was really happy that you were working with children. Now here's a conundrum I'm in. Now you know who Chip Coffey is, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and he worked with those teens, those young kids.
Yeah, actually, when I had my radio show was right when that Psychic Kids program was out, and he came on my show to talk about it.
Now see, here was the downfall for me about that show. Now I have gotten older, so I kind of forgive Chip Coffey about it. But if you put children on TV, real TV, aren't they like kind of putting these kids on the spot to where, say, someone, if they go to school, that someone knows them and then they just start antagonizing them and making fun of them? I
Oh,
mean, that's what really,
for
really
sure.
bothered me about that. How did
Poten
you?
Potentially, for sure. I know, my daughter had a horrific grade 7, 8 period of time about spirits and people bugging her about it, people giving her a hard time about me, and she really closed that off. Like, she finished, her educational years really not wanting people to know what I did and not bringing that up. Um, I would say, you know, I connected with a couple of the kids that were on that program. They had a really good support system. They did have, I believe it was a psychologist, but I know that there was a counselor of some kind that was also participating with the show and supporting those kids. So I know that the emotional support was there for them. But definitely being on TV can expose you to more people. I don't know. I don't know. I would hope that they all continued having support afterwards. But I mean, for
I,
myself,
it,
that's a
it
big
just
deal.
it just really bothered me that they would, I don't know the name of the word for it, but put these kids on TV because I figured if a child or a teenager has a gift and they really need to be worked on, um, I personally, me, I would want to do it with nobody realizing, not the whole world to know about it. And you know what? Honest to God, I believe, I believe that I blame the parents about that. Okay.
Well, but we don't even really know. I mean, I always play devil's advocate in the story as well too. Like, they're always going to pick the most extreme in order to get the ratings as well too. But we
Right.
don't know what those background stories really are, what's happening in the background, or if they had access to other people. I just know personally there was a two for sure, had a lot of support afterwards that helped the family actually be closer.
That now see that is a good feeling story. What you just said there. I mean,
Yeah,
which is great. But I
because they're
just
going to pick the ones that are the most traumatic, right? So
Oh my
I know.
God, absolutely. Now, Dover Paratech, did you read that? I experience clairvoyance, whatever that is, from time to time, but is not something I
Uh,
can control or am I able to tell when it's going to happen. I have been looking for someone to help me with this, but so far no luck. Do you have any suggestions?
um, So my suggestions, well, I have a question too. Is it outside ear or inside ear? Like when you are hearing spirit, is it? like outside or is it inside? That would be my first question. And thinking the other question would be like the when. So I know you're saying you have no control over the when it's going to happen. You can practice like it's a muscle, right? Asking
She says, "Oh, go. You
inside
read it. Yeah, go ahead. Others don't hear it.
inside ear.
Inside, yeah.
Okay. You can ask, it's really starting to have a focus on working with your divine team and trusting that your divine team is going to work with you and asking them to clear slime, sludge, attachments from wherever it may be, alternate dimensions, alternate realities, any blocks that have been created, so that you can hear more clairaudiently. And then letting your divine team know that you want that muscle to develop, and making dedicating like that focus. I'm open to this, and you can do a practice with it as well too. We've got time to do something. What I encourage people to do, just try for 2 weeks, is every morning before you get out of bed, I'm grateful I woke up, grateful I have food in my house, grateful for something, right? Start from that high vibration of gratitude always. Put your hand over your heart, take that deep breath in and really a slow breath out, and ask, what does your spirit need today? And then see, hear, feel. Let them know that you want to hear, and just keep practicing doing that for 2 weeks. And usually by the time that you're done that 2 weeks, you're going to hear the answer before or no, depending whatever clairs the loudest, what the response is before you're done asking the question. And it's a way to really have confidence and build the clarity of what that intuitive voice sounds like for you.
Okay, now for the people out there who don't know, what is a divine team?
Spirit guides could be angels, ascended masters, loved ones that are on the other side that have a vested interest in where you're at and where you're wanting to go.
And if somebody wanted to find out who is on their divine team, how do they go by finding out?
Okay, that practice, when I'm teaching about connecting, so one of the questions that I least like getting asked, is what's my spirit guide's name? Because how would people know if I was lying? Like, I could just tell you any name and you wouldn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not that I would lie, but I mean, there are charlatan people, right? So I encourage people to be able to tap in on their own to find out what their spirit guides' names are. And for the most part, they don't care what you call them. It's a feeling. The more that you can lean in and feel them, you're going to know who they are, because they feel energetically different. Everyone. Like, we know when you're in a turkey coma on the couch with Thanksgiving dinner and you're half asleep and somebody walks in the room, you know which family member it is because you know their vibe. And
Yes.
that's what you want to know, the vibe of your divine team. So that's that exercise I just gave you about tapping in to, with your hand over your heart and taking that breath. And then why I say hand over your heart is because up in your head is your chihuahua brain, right? It gets overthinking, talks you out of stuff. But if you stay in your heart space, that's where the intuition and your connection to them is. So when you want to know who your divine team is, you can put your hand over your heart and take that deep breath in and blow it out. So you're really getting in your body and ask, what does my spirit need today, where you're trusting? And then you can ask, can Archangel Michael step in? Does it energetically feel different? Do you feel it different? Can my dad? Yeah, Jen, your dad is so sweet when he comes in. He's just really sweet, and I'm glad that he pops in a way that you can feel him. And so, Jen, then my question for you is, like, does it feel different energetically for you when someone else comes in and a loved one? Super. You can let me know how it turns out for you. Energetically, they'll feel different, so you could just play with it. Step in close, connect my energy to yours and yours to mine, and thank you very much. And then when it feels different, you go, that's super awesome. And one of the reasons why I say keep your hand over your heart, it also helps you not hold your breath, because if you hold your breath, you're closing the door to the other side. It's like slamming it shut. the more that you have that full, easy breath, the easier it is to connect.
Okay, so that I hope, Jen, I hope that helps you out, and Dover too. I mean, but do you feel like um, your divine team, yours, Kerrilynn, um, instead of feeling feeling your energy, but does it come up on different parts of your body?
So yeah, I see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. I get the whole gambit of it, right? So um I would say when I'm feeling my divine team, it feels like a they. It doesn't ever feel like I have a single person in spirit or a single ascended master. It's usually they. I usually just say they. And it feels like a blanket coming out of the dryer, like, or a towel when you wrap yourself in that blanket that's out of the dryer. And then I call them truth bumps instead of goosebumps. It will feel like yeah, goosebumps. Those chicken skin, but I call it truth bumps because then I know I'm on the right track.
Okay. Kaysen says, but spirit guides are such not going to meddle with your free will, if there is such a thing, do they?
Mm. Yeah, no. Um, Spirit guides, loved ones in spirit, they're all allowed to intervene to a point, and then we do have free will. And it is like a choose your own adventure story, right? We have potential outcomes, and we have to lean in and make decisions. And so that's the more you tap into um, your personal healing, and you understand what is true for you in alignment with you, the more you're going to be it'll be easier to tell which route to take or which page to turn on your adventure story.
For me, I work with Uriel, Archangel Uriel. That's my
Mm.
man. Um, and I also work with animal totems. Okay,
Oh, that's
what
great.
is your feeling on animal? Everybody that listens to my show knows about my animal totems.
Yeah, you've pulled cards for people. You
Oh, I
actually,
do it all the time. I'll
yeah.
do one tonight too.
Okay.
What do you think? What is your feeling on animal totems?
I think it's a very important part of our divine team, like having animals as part of our spirit guides and animal totems. I think it's a very big part of who we are and our connection.
Oh, and it just the animals just fascinating me. They
Mhm.
fascinate me, especially the birds. I tell you
Mm.
what, I have so many cardinals flying around my backyard. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's lovely.
You just got chills, didn't you?
Yeah, animals
Yeah,
show up in spirit all the time in sessions as well too. And I mean, I believe that animals are messengers for us if we're slowing down and paying attention, right?
exactly. Joanne McTaggart says, "What is an animal totem?"
Do you want to answer?
Sure. Animal totems, Joanna, are spirit animals. I have a story for Jen.
I'll explain what Jen is.
Okay. Well, Joanna, they each one of us have seven spirit totems, spirit animal totems with us. They in like the mouse is scrutinized, like the dog is what is loyalty,
Loyalty.
the horse is power,
And
and
it can
there's
be
a
insects too. Like people don't realize that either, but like
mhm.
insects can also be a part of that spirit.
So you have these animals surrounding you, right? And they're just their spirit is walking with you. And each animal, okay, has a specific reason why it is with you. Now, each one of us have an alpha spirit guide, animal guide, and a female spirit guide. My male is my wolf, Lakota. He's a big, bad, and he kicks butt and takes names later. But my female is a red-tailed hawk, and whenever I am supposed to be in tune with spirit, the hawk just flies around me. No matter where I be, a hawk follows. But That's what an animal totem is. Joanna, if I can really ask you, there, Ted Andrews, he's an author called Animal Speak. And if you really want to get to know more about your totems, your animal totems, please look him up, Ted Andrews. He's very knowledgeable. That's how I learned. And please, Kerrilynn, go to Jen and about
Oh,
the.
so Jen Blue is just commenting, just not when they brush up against you. So animals show up all the time in spirit for me, to give like pets that are in spirit will show up to give messages. But I feel them first. I don't necessarily see them first, and it feels like when you're going in a lake and something touches you and you don't know what it is. That's what
Mhm.
animals will sometimes feel like. And it's just like, oh, it's just kind of a creepy feeling. So it's like, oh, now I got an animal. Or they'll jump up. Like I'm talking like we are connecting right now. And then all of a sudden I've got like a cat on my lap. Or it just, yeah, kind of freaks me out.
Oh,
It just freaks me out.
I think it's pretty neat
Oh, I
when you're
love it.
sitting there in an investigation, and all of a sudden something just rubs up against your leg and jumps in your lap, and it's be like, yeah.
I it yay is not my first emotion, but I get there. I get there eventually.
Oh, I just get really excited. You're welcome, Joanne. Thank you. Please check it up. I love when Gorby comes in, Kerrilynn.
Yeah, Gorby is Joanna's cat, and he comes in spirit all the time when we're connecting.
But listen, everybody, I am going to take a 30, I will give it a 70-second break here so you guys can go to the bathroom. Cindy Simpson, that's my bud, and she says, Spirit of my cat, Mr. Rudy, plays with the cats I have
Oh,
now.
that's lovely.
It is lovely. Okay, so in 70 seconds, please come on back and we'll finish up with my dear friend Kerrilynn, and we will go from there. All right, let me go play my thing again. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I hope you be able to go to the bathroom or do what you had to do. Um, but I have to make a couple announcements here. I am on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. I don't know how it goes, 105, 107. Just look at it as Louisiana and Mississippi are right next to each other. So we're doing pretty good. But I want to thank Carnation for sponsoring my show tonight. April 6th, it's a Saturday night. There is an open investigation for everybody and paranormal teams, April 6th, at the Dudas Farm. What you need to do, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message in the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page, and then I will definitely get back to you on that. But here I am with my friend Kerrilynn Shellhorn. She has a show Friday nights Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Is it the 7?
6 to
The
8.
6 to 8. And
Mm-hmm.
her name of her podcast is the Spirit Switchboard. And it's also on this channel, UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. Okay, now we're done here at 9:05, but I usually get out of here by 9 o'clock. But please tell me about your investigations, your paranormal investigations.
So recent. What would you like to know? What would you like to know? I
How do
don't
you go
necessarily
about it?
have. I
Do
don't
you
have a
do
team.
houses? Do you do
Yep.
houses? Okay.
Yep. Houses. We have a house that is privately owned. No people living in it currently. We have so I have my friend. I drag my sister. Actually, there's two friends, and I drag my sister, and we do these investigations. So there's one coming up in May at that place in Niagara Falls area. Houses, to be honest, some of the houses I can tap into and not actually have to be in the house.
So you're talking remote viewing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So other like locations and buildings, I did a lot of property reads as well too, like for farms. There was a farmer that was putting his farm up for auction. He was going to be moving, and he asked if I would come read the house and connect with the spirits and the land and just make sure that they were comfortable with the things that were happening with the changes with the farm and farming. And he did an article about me in like an agricultural magazine, and then it kind of took off, and I was doing like farm reads like crazy. I love them. I love doing property and farm
Okay.
reads. And I do this thing with again my little posse of friends. Pioneer, I call it the Pioneer Cemetery Crawl. So we've been doing that for a couple. This will be year 2, I think.
Dover says, has anyone ever been almost asleep and you hear your name called? Oh, hell yeah. All the time, Dover. Seriously.
In that
That's
in
normal.
between space, right, of being awake and asleep.
I mean, I'm awake and I hear somebody calling my name and they're not.
Oh,
And I'll tell you what, and I'm on, because there's times I'll be upstairs. I stay with my mom. She got, there's some wrong with her. Nothing bad, but I take care of my mom. And there are times, okay, that I hear somebody calling my name in my mother's voice, and I have to get up, okay? I got to get up and say, Mom, did you just call me? Seriously, I don't know if that has happened to anybody else. Has that happened to
do
you?
they call it doppelganger? Or is that something different?
That's something different. Doppelganger is, say, like, if you were me, it would be exact twin, like
Mm.
everything. No,
So could it be something that's just mimicking?
could be, could be. Now you hear so many things people saying that, it's evil if someone mimic you. You know what I mean? I don't believe in
Yeah,
that.
I don't necessarily either. To be honest, like in the places that I've been to, anytime the word demon gets said, it isn't actually, it was actually a bully spirit. And Jen, you know exactly the place I'm talking about because you were there for that investigation. It was just a bully spirit, that was just wanting the reaction
Hmm.
from the people that of the location that we were in. Um, yeah, I've not saying that demons aren't real. I'm not going down that train. I just know that from my experience, anytime that someone has said it was something that was evil, it was just a spirit. Uh,
Hey, Michelle,
Hi, Michelle.
I'm behaving, Michelle. I'm definitely behaving. Because I psychically predicted, Michelle, that you would come into the room. I knew that. Everybody in the room, Michelle is our boss. She's a good lady. Hello. Hello to you. Uh-oh. Hi,
Host of
guys.
Outer Realm.
Yeah. Yes. And she's a good girl. But
With
it's
Amelia, can't leave Amelia out.
I know, but she never shows up. Only Michelle does.
It's the Northern girl thing. It's a totally different thing. It's totally different.
These Canadian women are like really like, I don't know. I have to talk to my boss, Joe, my owner, Joe Montaldo, when we talk about the Canadian women, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so
We need
y'all,
to include Laura Lee, right, Michelle?
oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jen Blue says you twin. I don't know, but she's talking about that. So before, it is 8:51 and it's getting close to that witching hour or whatever. I call it the witching hour. Get time to close. Um, do you have does spirit have a message through you to tell my people? Our
Oh,
people.
the people that are here?
Yeah, and who are listening to the show? Do you have a message
Oh,
from spirit to them?
you want me to tap in? Give me a second.
Okay. But before she's tapping in, everybody, I am definitely going to be reading the three cards like I do every Sunday, almost every Sunday. So I'm starting to shuffle. Is there anybody in the chat room right now that has a question for Kerrilynn? Feel free to
Oh,
put it.
we're not going to turn this into reading
No, no
session,
reading.
though.
No, no,
Just
no, no.
saying.
No, 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 no,
Did
no,
you
no,
feel that
no.
little bit of panic?
Yes, no
Just-
readings. No readings. No readings. No. Mm-mm,
We're just
no.
going to do this really quick, though.
Yeah, just a message from, and so I hope everybody enjoyed the show. This Tuesday night, I got my friend Michael Anthony coming on. Things that make you go, will be the topic for that
Oh,
show.
that's super fun.
Yeah, it is. And Phil, please, he comes every month and on my show, and we talk about whatever comes up, and he's a good dude. He also has his own podcast too. And and just like Michelle, any messages from? And no reading, no reading, Michelle. This is
Sorry.
not a reading. Sorry.
Yeah, I think maybe just the way that it was phrased. I appreciate you guys asking though about giving messages. I just so when I was asking about spirit, it wasn't necessarily a spirit guide, but it was definitely a male so male figure coming in. He is taller. I'm only 5'2", so I'm going to explain what tall is for me too, because it's all relative, right? We all have a different perspective of what tall is. So anything over 5'10" is tall for me, but this fellow is definitely much taller than that. He's coming in around 5'11" to 6'1". Definitely a smoker, joker, teaser, friendly, all of that stuff is what he's showing me. And definitely strokes or aneurysms, because my face, I would say probably more stroke because my face is a bit pulled. The S name keeps coming up, which at first I wanted to say Stan, but I really think he keeps going to Steve. And he kept talking about the full moon and full moon energy. So he is showing me in this 2-story space that he can connect with the people that are in there. He makes you feel like you're having a bit of a heart palpitation when he gets up really close in your space. And he just keeps saying, stay grounded, stay grounded. The energy is going to build up even more. It's 2 levels. Kind of feels like an older garage, or like, I don't know, porchy thing. Yeah, it's a porch, not a garage. That's what I got. Whoever he belongs to can take him. Not enough time for readings.
No,
I like him though. He's fun, but he's a smoker.
he's a smoker, and does he have a message?
Yeah, he's saying stay grounded because the full moon energy is pretty big and the energy is only going to amp. So whoever that's for, he's just saying stay grounded because the energy is going to get big. But it's a 2-story house with this like porchy thing that's on the back, but in older space.
Michelle,
I don't know, Michelle. If
we
you
don't
can
know,
take it,
Michelle.
you can take it. I just know he's saying the full moon energy is like still rolling and to stay grounded, but that you can feel him, whoever he belongs to. That energy, if it's him, if it's the spirits that are pulled up, or if it's the energy of the full moon, it's creating that weird heart palpitation. So you need to stay grounded.
Joanne says, thank you, Sean. I hope you will have Kerrilynn back on your show again. She has lots to tell. I sure will. Kason says this show needs 2 hours of airtime. And Cindy says, not enough time for readings, just a message for collective groups as a whole. And Leah Meyer says, that made me cry. I just popped on and sounds exactly like my grandfather
Oh, yeah.
Samuel. Ain't that cool? Isn't it amazing how, you know, stuff happens for a reason? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everything happens for a reason. But okay, and getting close to that time. So, how can people get a hold of you for anything?
So my website's pretty easy. It's kerrilynshellhorn.com. I'm on all the socials. So it's the original Kerrilynn Shellhorn on Instagram and Psychic Medium Kerrilynn Shellhorn on Facebook. And then I'm here on Friday nights with uprn with Spirit Switchboard.
And they can say, like, if somebody wanted a reading from you, could they call you up there? How do you go
Sure.
about?
I love that people are reaching out to book sessions. I'm just letting you all know though that I'm booking almost in 2025. Like my 2024 availability is almost full. Like we're booking in December of 2024 right now. So there's come out to the events. If you guys are working on your intuitive development, I do have a Facebook group called Kerrilynn's Morning Porch, and I post practices and I get on there on the full moons and I do energetic cord cutting and I do a meditation and I give messages there as well too. And that's all free. Like, because
Sweet.
lots of people want support with their intuitive development, and I just don't have enough time to do a lot of one-on-one with people that way. So I try to do as much as I can.
Joanne McTaggart says Kerrilynn does the best readings. She is amazing.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I've heard that from other people. But Kerrilynn, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks,
Um,
Sean.
and I really enjoyed your company. I really enjoyed what you had to say. Hopefully, you can come back on my show and talk a little more. I love her energy, everybody. Her energy is awesome. Really good energy. If you like to hang around while I draw these cards, you're more than welcome to if you like to. Okay,
Yeah,
everybody.
I want to hear.
Good night,
Good night,
Michelle.
Michelle. Thank you.
Okay, so the three cards I'm going to draw, everybody knows I draw from the medicine cards, the animal medicine cards, and I draw three. The first card that I pull is your past. The second card is the card for the now. And the third card I pull is for your future. And Cindy says amazing energy exchange. Yes, it is.
Thank you.
So, like I tell everybody, write these animals down on a piece of paper, and when the show is over, feel look them up and find out if that animal has something pertain to you. That little reading. She's writing it down.
Got my
Okay, so
pen.
I did shuffle and I did cut them. All right. So the first card I'm pulling, this is your past card, is the hummingbird. That's your first animal in the past is the hummingbird. The second card, the now card, what's happening right now in your life is the skunk card.
I love that's super funny because when you asked me about the totems, I was going to say skunk always shows up for me. I love it.
There it
Love
is
it.
right
Love it.
there. There it is. That's cool. And the future card is the beaver, the builder.
Mm.
So you have the hummingbird in your past, you got the skunk for the now, and you have the beaver. Write those down and check it out.
You
Um,
guys, skunk is really good.
yes.
It's not bad. It's little and commands lots of respect. Like moi.
Oh, absolutely it does. Okay. That's funny. But my friend Sean Hazlitt, he has his coming on next. It's Through a Glass Darkly with Sean Hazlitt. His show comes on at 9:10 Eastern time, and he has a great show. I think they're going to talk about Devil's Den tonight. That's out in Gettysburg. So I'm going to have to check on that. But please tune in for his show tonight at 9:10 on UPRN Talk Radio. And children, please, if you can, go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no children, and if you have no parents, find a friend and tell them and give them a hug and tell them that you love them, because those three words, I love you, mean and go a long way. And on that note, everybody, good night. Kerrilynn, thank you for
Good
being
night.
on.
Thanks
And
for having me.
we'll see you Tuesday.